So, did my weigh-in and took my posing photos, and now it's time to check in, and we're headed into 12 weeks out, which is crazy. This is where it kind of gets more serious, to be real. So we'll see, what happens next, if he lowers my food, if he ups my cardio. It's a mystery. I did get a good little drop in weight there, so 153.8 is a new low weigh-in, but I got it that 2 days in a row, which is kind of interesting. That doesn't happen quite often, to get exactly 153.8 2 days in a row. So I'm kind of not sure. I would, in my mind, see it as unnecessary to lower food at this point. Maybe add a little bit more cardio, but we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna do this. Time to do my check-in. Check-in has been submitted. Now we just wait. So while I wait, I'm gonna take this little guy out to go to the bathroom, and this little girl. Here you go, potty. Yeah, let's go potty. Let's go potty. Come on. Who's going first? Who's got to go worst? Definitely Toby. Yeah. You want to go first? Okay. So, verdict's out on the check-in, and good news, my nutrition stays the same. Bad news, he upped my cardio. So I thought I was going to get a complete rest day today, no cardio, no workout, but now I got to go do my cardio. So it's now 7 times a week, 35 minutes of cardio, keeping my heart rate above 120. So I'm going to go do that. Today is more of just like getting little things done that I haven't been able to get done throughout the week, just because the gym and the craziness and work, but this is a little bit slower day of work. So I like to kind of phrase it, self-care Wednesdays, but I've got a lot to do, so I don't know that it'll be complete self-care, but it will be more of like let's get some shit done, errands wise, little work things here and there, get organized day. So it's organized Wednesday. How about that? All right, time for cardio. Okay, so cardio is done. Hit my 7th cardio session of the week. Wanted to make sure to get that in, because if I didn't do it today, then when I check in next Wednesday, it would only have been 6 sessions, and it's supposed to be 7. Anyways, I'm about to make some food because I'm pretty hungry. The hunger has increased, which is funny. Well, I guess it's not funny because my activity has increased. I also have not figured out how to film myself quite yet, so bear with me as we're still figuring this out. But Des is not around this week. She has a sick kid, so school started last week, so the germs spread pretty quickly, so she's at home taking care of one of her kids. But food, yeah, we're gonna be talking about food. I also feel like prep brain shouldn't be a thing yet, but it kind of is. I'm having a hard time focusing. I've reached this kind of low level fatigue point, and It seems like it's a little early for that, but you know, it did just hit 12 weeks, so it could just be right on time. It's only going to get worse from here. Anyways, the food has stayed the same. However, my activity has increased, so it does make sense that my hunger would increase, but also my body fat has gone down. So that signals to my brain, my body, hey, we're a little short on food. We're starving. We're running out of fat stores. You should probably find some more food. But my body doesn't know that I'm doing this intentionally. So it's still sending me those warning signals. But we don't need them, body. We're fine. We got food. This is the goal. Anyways, so chicken that I have stored in this nasty ass plastic bag. I'm going to be doing some broccoli and then some rice. I am going to be doing a little bit of meal prep later. I'll show you what I do there, but I'm mostly just prepping my protein at this point. Everything else, it kind of just preps itself. You know, I get my broccoli cut up. I usually use the microwave rice. I cook off the chicken, and that's my main source of protein right now, along with some protein powder. So there isn't a lot of prep involved, but maybe that is a tip for you as well. If you don't have a lot of time for prep, there is no shame in buying pre-prepped vegetables, anything like that. Yes, they are a little bit more expensive because you're paying for, you know, convenience, but time is money. And for me, I am willing to pay a little extra to save myself some time because I don't have a lot of it. So I'm gonna get working on my lunch. I'll show you what it all entails. It's not you already know, but I will still show you, and we will go from there. All right, so here is meal 2: chicken, rice, broccoli, making use of those vegetables to control hunger. If you're still not taking advantage of vegetables and you're in a calorie deficit, well, I'm sorry, you're probably hungry. If you don't like vegetables, chances are you haven't, I mean, we're all adults here, right? Maybe, hopefully. Some things you just kind of have to train yourself to like, especially if you didn't grow up eating it. But there's a lot of acquired tastes out there that we acquire as adults. It just takes a little time. I mean, coffee's probably the number one acquired taste. I didn't used to like it, but over time, I guess I kind of trained myself to like it, and now I really like it. Alcohol is an acquired taste for pretty much everybody. Some people still don't even like the taste, but yet drink it anyways because they like the effects it has, likes how it makes you feel. But guess what? Vegetables also make you feel good. It's not as immediate. You might not exactly feel it. It's not going to make you feel drunk. That's a favorable feeling if you're needing an escape. So vegetables will not provide that for you. However, they do provide better health. They do provide better performance, and ultimately provide you the vitamins and minerals your body needs. So that is my spiel on vegetables. I'm gonna eat this now. Alright, so I was gonna do some meal prep, but I'm a dummy, and I forgot I ran out of spices, so I had to order some more spices via DoorDash. But while we wait for those spices to arrive, I figured I'd get an opposing session. My opposing coach, recommended that I put down some black electrical tape to kind of guide me as to foot placement, that sort of thing. There is usually like a square mark on stage, but I'm gonna make a line and then some X marks where I normally put my feet. That way when I turn around, I know kind of where my foot placement should be after my transition with that. So let's see if I could put these down here. I think I'll put this. Ow! Apparently this is sharp. Alright, be careful guys. You can cut yourself with electrical tape. Let's see. X marks the spot. Now we've got that to practice. so I'm a little off when I turn around. But honestly, I don't understand how. Like, no matter how much I try, I don't understand how to get my feet in the same spot. Do I have to get my feet in? Like, are the judges looking like his feet aren't right where he started? I don't fucking know. Alright, let's try this again. I'm gonna do that thing where I like wave like judges are there. Alright. So. No, that was weird. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much this is helping. So I almost forgot to drink my shake before therapy, so I was showing you, I'm doing it, it's going down, and my therapist should be calling me any second now, so I'll see you after then. What are we going to talk about? What am I going to do? I don't fucking know, but we're going to see. Alright, it is finally time for dinner/meal prep. This isn't like this isn't really a meal prep because I'm really only prepping chicken. I've also reached that point in prep where I just no longer wear shirts. So sorry for that, but it's also 107 degrees outside and I'm melting. So we're just gonna take advantage of lower body fat and it being really fucking hot. But so meal prep, I'll get started on that. I'm cooking chicken, alright? So all I eat for protein right now is chicken and protein powder. I might switch it over to shrimp at some point because I love shrimp. It just always tastes good. Problem is it's expensive and it's just another thing to have to cook separately. So I haven't done that yet, but I'm sure at some point I'll get tired enough of chicken and then have to move over to shrimp or fish or etc. But I'll show you how I prep my chicken and then I'm cooking it now so that it'll be fresh for my dinner meal. I'll just stop talking and get to it. Okay, so I've got my chicken here, and if you don't like touching raw chicken, neither do I. I don't think anyone really does, maybe unless you're like Jeffrey Dahmer, but you know. So this is a fork. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna open up this package and I just get the fork and I scoop out the chicken that way. That way I don't have to touch it. It does make it a little bit more difficult to get out, but it does the trick. So that is one package. Cooking out 2 packages today because we need lots of protein and I don't want to have to cook more in a couple days. So this should hold me over for the rest of the week. There is all of our chicken. If you're wondering price-wise, these were about $12 per package, so about $24 for all of this chicken, which is not bad. It's from Sprouts, just in case you're wondering. So you want to keep your chicken fork on hand. And I got some new spices I ordered, and something I like to do to make it easier so I'm not having to do a shaker the same way that I do with the salt. I just create my little spice mix. So we've got some cumin here. These are my go-to spices, and I just put it in here. Chili powder, about half of a jar of each, or maybe a little less, depending. But about the same amount was emptied into here. How about that? Then I just mix it up. So this is like a chili cumin spice blend. If you can see that. Yeah, okay. So that's ready to go. But oops, I start with salt. So I start by salting the chicken. Alright, so I salt the chicken first. Make sure you season your chicken pretty liberally especially if the breasts are thick. That's what she said? He said? I don't know. When you have chicken breasts, you're also required to make some sort of booby joke at least once. It's just, you have to, right? So salt liberally, especially if they're thick, because you're not going to be getting that salt in the inside of the chicken breast. So you got to make sure you're coating the outside in order to give it enough flavor. Same with the spices. Pretty liberally use the spices. You might be thinking, wow, that is a lot of salt, but it's not, especially in comparison to processed foods, McDonald's, any fast food joint, any frozen food. Even if you buy chicken breast frozen, there's going to be sodium that's already in it because it's a preservative, right? So it's fresh chicken breast. There is no sodium besides the salt that I'm putting on it, which is exponentially less salt than if you would have bought it already cooked at a fast food restaurant, etc., etc. So before you judge me for the salt intake, realize that any processed food has more salt than I'm currently putting on here, but also too, salt on its own is not problematic unless you are sensitive to it, and it makes your blood pressure higher. I don't have the issue, so I'm just, let me use my salt, all right? Okay, so after the salt, we are using our spice mixture. No, I lied. We are using garlic powder, or granules, and I don't put this in my spice mixture because I like a lot of garlic, and I want to make sure that the breasts are evenly coated with garlic. All right, this is brand new, so I've got this awful little safety thing that I have to figure out how to stab it. Bam, done. Okay, I don't know what that was. Again, pretty liberally. I love garlic. If you don't like garlic, you don't have to use it. I like it though, so it's going down. Okay, now it's time for the spice mixture. Also pretty liberally with it. Make sure it goes on even. Okay, so that is one side. Now we flip and we repeat the process. Okay, so now the chicken is all seasoned and it's ready to go. I'm gonna sear it first in a skillet and then put it in the oven because it locks in the juices. There's gonna become a point where I'm too lazy to do that and I'm just gonna throw it in the oven like this. But for now I have the energy to make it taste better, so I'm gonna do that. And I'll show you how I do that. So I've got my preheated pan here and I'm gonna use just a little bit of spray, just enough to coat the bottom. Don't want to use too much. There is calories in these things despite what the nutrition label says. It says 0 calories, but it is not 0 calories, all right? Okay, I'm not gonna show the whole thing because that would just get real long, but then we start the sear. You don't want to cook it, you just want to sear it, and then I'm going to finish it in the oven. I've got that preheated already, so make sure to preheat your oven before you start any of this. Okay, as you can see, some got a little bit better sear than others, but this is ready for the oven. And I usually, I set mine at 400, but every oven is different. Mine runs a little cooler, so I think it is actually around 350 when it says 400. And I put them in there for about 15 minutes. Also, I can't give you specific times what you need to do, which is the best tool to have, especially for chicken. This is how you don't overcook your chicken. Get a meat thermometer, and I pull them when they're about 160 degrees because there is some carryover cooking that will happen, and they are done. Chicken is ready at 165, but if you pull them out of the oven at 160, let them rest, it should come up to 165. But also, when you reheat it later, if it actually doesn't come up to 165, it will then, and and that's the way to prevent it from drying out, especially if you plan to reheat it at a later point. Do not overcook your chicken. If you don't like chicken, it's probably because you suck at cooking it. But this is how to not suck at cooking chicken. So chicken is a blank canvas. You are the artist. It will taste like whatever you season it with. Normally, people don't blame the canvas if the artist sucks, right? So don't blame the chicken. It is a blank canvas. Spice, season appropriately, and don't overcook it. So while that is cooking, I'm going to cook my asparagus in the air fryer. This doesn't take long at all, so I kind of have to waste a little bit of time. I don't get rice with my dinner today because it's a rest day and I get less carbs / calories on my rest days. It's called carb or calorie cycling. You may or not be familiar with it, but it's a little trick to make it so you get to eat more on your training days and use that fuel for your training sessions, and then you lower the calories on your rest days because you're not really training hard, you don't feel the fatigue as much, so you're able to eat lower calories. So it's a way to reduce your calories without suffering the consequences too much on training days. So that is what's happening. My calories are around 2,000 on my non-training days and about 2,400 on my training days. That is current, and luckily they were not brought down. It might seem kind of high for some people, or maybe it seems kind of low for some people. I mean, it's definitely a lot higher than it was last prep, but I weigh more now. I've got more muscle, so it's also this reinforcement that I have put on muscle, considering I'm losing fat at calories I used to bulk at. So that's pretty awesome. But I'm not feeling like I'm bulky. I'm feeling hungry. It's awesome, but it's all relative. Alright, I'm going to finish up my dinner, stop talking. I had some caffeine, so I woke up a little bit, and then I had therapy. Hopefully I can sleep tonight. But yeah, I'm going to finish my dinner, show you the end product, all that jazz. Dinner is done. Got my asparagus, and my chicken, and my takeout sauce. And I'm just going to eat this, and then I am going to watch the news. Can't really see it, but it's like right there. So this is the exciting life that I live. Just kidding. Actually, I like my life. All right. So I'm gonna do that. Then I do still have a meal or two left, and I'll show you what that is. So watching the news is definitely a bit depressing. Maui is on fire, or was. Some pilot died in the air. Southwest plane engine blew up. But what is not depressing is this watermelon. So I'm gonna eat this and then probably watch something else because I've heard all I need to hear about the news today. Heard all I need to hear. But Toby's down here licking his foot. Toby, stop it. What are you doing? Anyways, okay. One last meal after this, and then I'm ready for this day to be over. Last but not least, I've got mango with almond butter. So that's one serving of almond butter, 140 grams of mango, and I'm just making use of the summer fruit. You might notice I have a lot of fruit that, might change as we go into the fall and my carbs get lower. But for now, I'm just enjoying summer fruit because it's like the best time for fruit. And yeah, anyways, it's also interesting. So I am on a macro plan. So technically I could create little desserts and stuff like that. But I've just been sticking with the fruit. Like, number one, I've noticed I feel much better. I feel like I'm less inflamed overall. Not having so much like simple carbs, that sort of thing in my diet. I'm not saying you can't lose weight eating carbs. Obviously, I'm eating a lot of fruit and carbs and all that. I'm just choosing my carbs wisely. And the thing too is it's kind of dangerous territory when you start making little like healthy desserts or stuff like that. I noticed for me, it makes my cravings go up. And right now I'm trying to do everything just to like not crave things, and my cravings for things have been pretty mild. I've been hungry, so I've just been craving food. I actually crave less things on prep than I do bulking, because I feel like when I'm bulking, nothing tastes good except for like crack type of items like crumble cookie or something like that. So I'll crave that way more than on prep, because right now when I'm hungry, like everything tastes good. The fruit tastes sweeter. It's funny how the body works sometimes. But so yeah, I'm just trying to stay away from any foods that could cause cravings. This is perfectly satisfying to me right now, and I know if you're not, dieting for show, that probably sounds laughable, because desserts are amazing, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't just love some crumble cookie right now, because I would. But I'm keeping the like somewhat dessert foods away right now. There might be a time, like I've got some rice cakes in the pantry that I could put some almond butter on, and a kind of makeshift little dessert, which I have that as a tool if I really want it and need it in the future. But right now, with the cravings low, I'm not feeding into it. Just keeping the foods, pretty low key. I do have my banana waffles in the morning, which kind of hits that sweet tooth craving for me. It's like chocolatey and stuff. So yeah, that just kind of does it for me. I don't know why I'm just talking about cravings continuously, but if you struggle, with food cravings and stuff like that, I would challenge you for like a short time. You don't have to get rid of something forever, but to pull those things, those foods that you just tend to not be able to stop eating, food with no breaks, where once you just get a piece of it, you just have the hardest time. Before you know it, the whole bag is gone, the whole jar, whatever it is that is your vice. You might try removing it for a short amount of time, just to see if you can reduce those cravings. Because it's almost like the more you have it, the more you crave it. So I've had no sushi, no any type of dessert item or anything like that for about 4 weeks now, and I'm at a point where I don't miss those items. I feel better being on the foods that I'm eating currently. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up. It has been one of those days where I've just been continually anxious for no reason, and it's awful and exhausting. I don't know if you have ever experienced that, or if you do, but it's no fun. Anyways, so that's why I'm gonna head to sleep. But thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I can't say enough for anyone who comments, likes, whatever, even just watches this video. I appreciate you a lot. There's plenty of other ways you could be spending your time, but you chose to leave a comment or watch this video, and yeah, I just really appreciate it. So, alright guys, peace out. See you next time.